Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, no matter where you're at or when you're listening to this audience. This is the Ernie Meyer Show with Elisabeth, talking live with her, and you will see it as a recording, so it won't be as live. Anyway, before we get started, I want to remind you that our sponsor today is the eFit Home Mini Gym, and the link down there will be on our description, and you can actually buy that and save $20 when you put the Ernie Meyer 20 or Ernie 20 in the code. I'll have that all the information down below. So Elisabeth is, well, I'm going to let her tell you a little bit about herself. It is actually fascinating. Elisabeth, go ahead.
Thank you, Ernie. I'm Elisabeth, and I am an equine Gestalt coach, which means that I partner with horses to guide people towards healing, whatever trauma, unfinished business is still permeating their lives and preventing them from stepping fully into who they are and moving forward in their lives.
That's wonderful. Exactly. How do you do that with the horses?
Well, the beauty of it is that the horses naturally know what to do. When people ask me, how do you train them? My answer is, I don't. Mm-hmm. Horses, because of who they are prey animals. So they are naturally tuned into their environment. Their survival depends on their ability to accurately read their environments. Okay. Their awareness extends as far as the horizon. So in a state like the one I'm in, which is Colorado, the horizon is often hidden by trees and mountains, but still, horses can read as far as the horizon. So even when we think that they haven't seen us, that they don't know that we are there, they know. Mm-hmm. They need to know if there's a predator lurking, and if they need to run. Mm-hmm. And the beauty of it all is that horses never doubt their intuition. Us, human beings, I don't know if you will agree with me, Ernie, but we tend to live in our heads. We let our minds rule the show. Mm-hmm. And when we have a gut feeling, we tend to discard it. It's like, my stomach, I'm feeling all weird. Oh, yeah, what's wrong with me? Horses don't go into the what's wrong with me. They're like, something's not congruent. Mountain lion, I'm out of here. Mm-hmm. So they like it when their environment is congruent. Everything's peaceful, everything's aligned. Mm-hmm. We are part of their environment, and they read us just like they read their surroundings. Mm-hmm. And when we are one place with our mind, another place in our hearts, another place in our gut, they don't like it. For them, it's not congruent, and they like it when it's congruent. They like it when we're aligned. They like it when we act the way we feel. Let's say you're angry, okay? But anger in our society is not looked at in a positive light. So you show up with your huge big smile, but inside you're boiling. You may fool people around you, but you're not going to fool the horses. Mm-hmm. They're going to show you that they don't like it. Same thing if you're in your head, thinking, the way you should be doing things. They can't relate to what's going on in our heads. They relate to our emotions. They relate to the way we really feel. So when we are not in that space of alignment, they show us. Okay. So they guide us towards being congruent.
I've never heard it explained like that before, where your mind, your heart, and your gut all have to be in the same alignment. And we tend to forget that a lot of times when we as humans go about our business during the day. Would you tell the audience about the downturn of your business? I know you were born in France and you came to Colorado and there was something missing. Can you tell the audience about that a little bit, please?
Oh, yes, sure. Yeah, I moved to Colorado about 20 years ago. And I knew I was in the place I wanted to be. I love Colorado with my whole heart. My husband's American. He grew up in this part of Colorado, Boulder. I'm now in Lafayette. I loved my in-laws. So I also have a loving daughter. And I was also a teacher. So for me, something very, very rewarding, loving being with my students. But something was missing. And I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And I realized that when I moved over, I had looked for a place to ride horses. Back there in France, I was riding horses at an event in riding school, and I loved riding them. And above all, I loved being in their presence. Mm. And I realized that although I had started to look for a place to ride horses, life took over and I gave up on that quest, and I was missing horses. Mm-hmm. So I started to look for them. And I signed up to volunteer at a therapeutic riding center called Rocky Mountain Riding Therapy. Mm-hmm. And so I would groom horses and lead them for riders, and that really filled up my heart. And yet, intuitively, I knew there was something more. Mm-hmm. And I believe, the universe sent me a message saying you're not deep enough into it. And the message I got came in the form of a challenging situation at work. That situation got so challenging that I lost sleep over it, and I even started feeling seriously depressed. Mm-hmm. To the point that it affected not only my well-being in my workplace, but also my family life. And yeah, my whole personal life. Mm-hmm. And my husband was urging me to quit. He was saying, no, there's no reason for you to go through this. And it made sense. Quitting a toxic environment made complete sense. And at the same time, I knew this was not the way I wanted to live. So I was surrounded by all the love of my loved ones, and I knew I needed to get more help for myself. Mm-hmm. And this help manifested in the form of an article in the newspaper. It featured yoga with the goats on the first page. And I love goats. I'm also very much into yoga. So very naturally, I started reading it. So I start reading it, and the rest of the article was a few pages later. So I flip through the pages. I get done with the article, and at the bottom of it, in fairly small print, it said that the yoga teacher was renting the space and the goats from Julia McMonagle, Equine Gestalt coach. Two words jumped at me. Mm-hmm. Equine and coach. I knew I needed both. The term in the middle, Gestalt, I had heard of it. I felt that was good enough. So I decided to contact her. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, if the coach is not up to my expectations, at least there will be a horse. That's all I need. And to this day, Julia and I still laugh about, if the coach sucks, at least there will be a horse. Mm-hmm. And so I started my coaching with her, and she was way above my expectations. And her partnership with her horses simply blew me away. So yeah, that's how I started doing my work. The situation at work started to shift. I ended up signing up for the program. Situation kept evolving at school, and the whole situation finally boomeranged back to the people who had initiated it. And a couple years later, I decided to retire from that place. And I insist I retired. I didn't quit. I was in a completely different place from where I was 2 years prior, where I was almost ready to leave, defeated. Whereas this time I was not defeated. I was empowered. It was my choice. I was doing it from my own free will, knowing that I had stepped into my next calling in life, which was to fully dedicate my time to working with my equine partners to empower other people to do the same.
I can see. Wow, that's exciting. And that tells how you evolved from where you were to where you became. And a lot of times we're met with challenges and different things in our life that propel us to a different level that we didn't even think about in the beginning. And I see that happen with you, with the coaching, with this lady, and leveling up your existence and learning different things. So I would like to ask you to tell the audience how they can get a hold of you if they have any questions or want to know more.
Oh, that's very easy. They can call me at 303-335-0221 or text me. They can also email me at nurturingstrides@gmail.com, and I guess I'll be able to put it somewhere on your platform.
Yes.
So very easy, and I'm very happy to talk, to share, to exchange with whoever feels the need to reach out to me, so they can experience the beauty of the healing that happens with the horses, and the power of the modality that I use, the Gestalt, that mysterious, nebulous word, which then took on its full meaning as I signed up for the program. So I'm very, very happy, and to let people experience that healing power.
That's great. And audience, and just in case if you miss any of that, you will see that information down below. So you'll be able to get a hold of Elisabeth, talk to her, as well as my information. If you have any questions about anything from either one of us today, please put it in the comments below, or you can send me a question at my email that'll be listed below, that'll ask@meetwithernie.com. Also, a lot of people do that because they're shy to put things in the comments, so that's okay. We will try to answer that for you. If you like what you've seen, what you hear today, or you know of somebody, please share it with others. Subscribe to our channel so that you won't miss out on any of the upcoming interviews. And if you'd like to be interviewed, I'll put that below too, so you'll be able to get a hold of me at the website and sign up for an interview so that we can do the same thing for you. I'd like to interview people that know that you can make a living or you can design your life. You have the power. Bye now.